Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Heart of Love Show. Hello, for those who don't know me, my name is Miss Heart of Love. I decided to do this little show and just to speak to the peoples out there to know what I've been through with and what I'm doing. I'm not going to sit on here today and just talk about the peoples that's in the streets and the mental ill and and all of this. I'm the type of person that I'm trying to make a change here in Youngstown, Ohio, and I'm trying to do something good here in Youngstown, Ohio. But every time I try to do something good, it's like I'm getting talked about, which I don't care about that. People's calling in to the health department, the city, and whatever, and trying to hinder what I'm doing because they keep saying I'm running a group home, but I'm not running a group home. I had opened up here. It was like to me, it was called, it's a house, and I always say it's a house that cries, but I call it my house that cries. But it's a house that I was blessed with, and I used that house as a homeless house. And what we called it was Faith Temple of God Housing Ministry. And it was for peoples, that was hurting out there in the streets and didn't have nowhere to go. And some of the peoples we took in, they had AIDS or HIV, and they didn't have nowhere to go, and wouldn't nobody take them. They were scared of them, and we took them in. And some of the other peoples that we took in was peoples that was incarcerated, and when they got out, they didn't have nowhere to go. And so we end up, helping those peoples and taking them in and giving them a place to stay, a warm place. I can recall one day when I was going to McDonald's, I went to just get me a burger and a fry, and I seen this guy laying on the sidewalk, and I couldn't go through there and get me nothing to eat knowing that guy was laying there like that. And I had this big house over here, all the utilities on and everything, just sitting there. It was already furnished and everything, and just sitting there. And I'm like, sir, how you doing? And he said, oh, I'm not doing too good. And I said, what's wrong? And he said, I just got out of jail, and I ain't got nowhere to go. And I said, well, I got a place for you. Get in. And I didn't even get me nothing to eat. I took him on to the house, and I showed him, and he was like, oh, this is a blessing. Oh, I love this. This is a blessing for me. And so, I took him in, and not knowing that he had a case manager, and not knowing that he was on Social Security, and so he said, I want to help you. I want to give you a donation to help you with the utilities and stuff. And he went and called his case manager and told him that he was now staying there. He found him a place to stay, and would they fix it to where I can get a check for that. And I didn't see no harm in that, because that was a blessing to me. I blessed him, and then he blessed me, because I needed to pay the utilities on the place, because it's a pretty big place, and I still had an overhead. And that was a blessing. And I know another lady called me. She was in a situation where she said she just wanted out. She just wanted out. And so I took her in, and another guy came, and she told them about me, and then they came, and then another guy came in town. He didn't have nowhere to go, and they told him, and it just began to go on and picking up. And then I said, well, let me get another house. I said, because this is working, this really is working. People really need a place to stay. And so I got another house, and and that house got full. I got another house, and that house got full. And then somebody out there, I don't know who, called city and all of them and said, this woman is running unlegal group homes, and I think you all need to go in and investigate, or whatever they told them. But whatever they told them, they went along with it. and the city came in and was asking questions and this and that, and they made the peoples leave, and the peoples didn't want to leave, but they made them leave. And some of the problems that was in the house was some of the problems that the peoples that was already living there had caused, a little sheetrocking and things like that. But I had legit heat and the gas. Well, I had a little trouble with the furnace because a guy told me the furnace was working, but it wasn't. But I got it right. All it was I needed to make a phone call, and I would have got that thing right. But they didn't give me a chance. They just told me, no, you can't do this. We're shutting this down. You can't do this. You can't do that. And so I just said if they wouldn't let me do this, then I might as well go ahead and close the other houses down too, because eventually, they're going to call in on that too. But I had went to a public accounting because I told them what I was doing, and I asked them, could they help me just go ahead and turn this into a program? But before I can get it turned into a program, they had just came up against it, and it just totally was destroyed. It just totally got destroyed. And I'm really upset about it. But, sometimes there's nothing you can do, and sometimes things happen, for a reason. So I wanted to share that story with you all because there's peoples out there, that's living in and out of a suitcase, and there's peoples out there that's hurting. And I see so many of these programs coming on here talking about the homeless people and talking about the mentally ill and making jokes out of them, and getting, some of them is getting off the streets, getting lucky and becoming famous, which is a good thing, because I cry when I see some of those videos, because that's a good thing. But don't mocker the homeless and the mentally ill, because you don't know what they've been through for them to get like that. You don't know if they lost a loved one. You don't know if it's a woman that went through with a bad separation, was abused, or you don't know. A lot of times we have to stop and just put the foundation of a thing down, in order to build. Like you build a house, you got to put the foundation down first. So before you start judging those peoples and criticizing them peoples, think about what they could have went through with and love them. Love them. I'm going to close now because you'll be hearing from me again. Again, my name is Heart of Love, and I just want to add that little bit on there. I know I told you bye earlier, but I had to add that on there because I have so much to talk about. And you'll be hearing from me again. You all have a blessed day. Bye now.
The homeless house that cries. Show love for the homeless people and mental ill. Also pray for them. How would you feel living out of a suitcase? Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day. Bye now.